This is the People Mentor podcast for managers and leaders wanting to thrive and grow and create a culture that incorporates kindness and compassion and builds a high-performing team. Hi, I'm Nicola from the People Mentor, and in today's podcast we're going to tackle a thorny issue that many small business owners struggle with. The downside of being too nice in the workplace. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nicola, are you really telling me that being nice is a problem? Isn't kindness what we should all strive for? Well, I want you to stick with me because we're about to challenge some common assumptions that might be holding you and your business back. You've got an employee who consistently underperforms. Their work is riddled with errors, they miss deadlines, and it's starting to affect your whole team. But instead of addressing it head on, you find yourself making excuses, picking up the slack, or worst of all, saying nothing at all. Why? Because you're afraid of hurting their feelings. You're being nice. If this scenario sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many of the small business owners I work with find themselves caught in this trap. They're bought into the idea that being a good boss means also being always agreeable, avoiding conflict at all costs, and never making anyone feel uncomfortable. But here's the kicker. This too nice approach isn't just ineffective, it can be downright damaging to your business, your team, and ironically to the very people you're trying to protect. In this podcast, we're going to explore why constructive criticism is not just important, but essential for the health of your business. We'll look at the hidden costs of always being nice, and I'll share some practical strategies for delivering feedback in a way that's both kind and effective. So whether you're currently struggling with an underperforming team member, or you just want to create a culture of open, honest communication in your business, stick around. This conversation might just change the way you think about kindness in the workplace. And remember, challenging someone's performance doesn't make you unkind. In fact, as we'll discover, it might be the kindest thing you can do for your employee and your business. So let me share a story about Mark, a small business owner I worked with recently. Mark runs an accounting firm with a team of 8 professionals. He's known for his easygoing nature and his team appreciates his approachable style. Sounds great, doesn't it? Well, not exactly. Mark had a problem. One of his accountants, let's call her Emma, was consistently making errors in client tax returns and missing important filing deadlines. Instead of addressing it directly, Mark found himself double-checking all of Emma's work, apologising to clients, and even taking on some of her workload himself. Why? Because Mark was terrified of confrontation. He didn't want to be seen as the harsh boss. He kept hoping that if he just gave Emma more time and support, she'd eventually improve on her own. But can you guess what happened? The problems didn't go away. In fact, they escalated. The other team members started to resent the extra scrutiny their work was getting because of Emma's mistakes. Clients began to question the firm's reliability. And Emma? Well, she remained unaware that her performance was causing significant issues. By the time Mark reached out to me, he was exhausted, anxious about potential legal issues from filing errors, and his firm's reputation was at risk. All because he was trying to be nice. I'm willing to bet that many of you listening can relate to Mark's situation. Maybe you've got your own Emma in your team, or perhaps you've been guilty of avoiding tough conversations in the name of keeping the peace. The truth is, this kind of niceness isn't doing anyone any favours. Not you, not your business, and certainly not your employees. In Mark's case, his reluctance to provide honest feedback was actually preventing Emma from understanding the seriousness of her mistakes and improving her skills. So how did we turn things around for Mark and his team? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. We'll explore why being too nice can be detrimental and how you can shift from being merely nice to being truly kind and effective as a leader. Now, Mark's situation isn't unique. Many small business owners find themselves avoiding difficult conversations, often out of fear of conflict or damaging relationships. But this too nice approach can have serious consequences for your business that go beyond just one underperforming employee. Firstly, there's a significant hit to productivity. When issues aren't addressed, they don't just affect one person, they slow down entire processes and projects. In a small business where resources are often stretched thin, this can be particularly damaging. Secondly, team morale takes a nosedive. Your top performers, the one who consistently meet or exceed expectations, start to feel undervalued. They see their hard work being overshadowed by the mistakes of others, and it can be incredibly demotivating. There's also the missed opportunity for growth and improvement. By not providing feedback, you're denying your team members the chance to develop their skills and reach their full potential. This stunts not just individual growth, but the growth of your entire business. Lastly, and perhaps most insidiously, resentment starts to build. Team members who consistently have to pick up the slack or fix others' mistakes begin to feel frustrated and overworked. This can lead to a toxic work environment and even push your best employees to look for opportunities elsewhere. So what's the solution? It's not about suddenly becoming a harsh, uncompromising boss. The answer lies in mastering the art of constructive criticism. This is where we need to make an important distinction. Being kind is not the same as being nice. Nice is about pleasant in the moment, often at the expense of long-term benefits. Kindness, on the other hand, is about genuinely caring for someone's well-being and growth, even if it means having uncomfortable conversations. Constructive criticism, when done right, is an act of kindness. It shows that you value your employees enough to invest in their growth. It demonstrates that you believe in their ability to improve and succeed. So in the next part, we're going to dive into some practical strategies for delivering this kind of feedback effectively. For now, I want you to start shifting your mindset. Instead of asking yourself, how can I avoid upsetting my employee? Start asking, how can I help my employee succeed? Remember, your role as a leader isn't to be everyone's friend. It's to bring out the best in your team and guide your business to success. And sometimes that means having the courage to be kind rather than just nice. Now that we understand why constructive criticism is so important, let's talk about how to do it effectively. I'm going to share some practical tips that you can start using right away. First and foremost, be specific and focus on behaviour, not personality. Instead of saying you're careless, which attacks a person, say something like, I've noticed several errors in the last few tax returns you've prepared. This focuses on the actual issue at hand and gives the employee something concrete to work on. Now, I want to introduce you to a powerful technique, the AID model. AID stands for Action, Impact, and the development or desired behaviour that you want. Here's how it works. A. Action. Describe the specific behaviour you've observed based on facts. I for impact. Explain the effect this behaviour has on the team, clients or business. And then development or desired behaviour. Clearly state what you'd like to see instead and how to achieve it. For example, Emma, before we discuss the recent tax returns, I'd like to hear your thoughts on how things have been going lately. Is there anything you've been concerned about or any areas where you feel you might need additional support? After listening to Emma's response, you might continue. I appreciate your openness. I've noticed several errors in the last 5 tax returns you've prepared. That's your action. This has led to delays in filing and has raised concerns with some of our clients about the accuracy of their returns, so you're giving them the impact. Given what you've shared and what I've observed, I think we need to take some steps to address this.